What happens to the emotional intelligence of an advanced AI when that AI gets burnt out? Let's talk about it. Today, we're talking about none other than Cortana from the Halo series. Now, I know, before you come at me, she's not really a droid, but she is an AI and a fascinating example to go through this exercise with. So for our ranking, we start with phase 1. We'll go through all 3 phases of the logiCALMind framework. Phase 1 is stabilize. This is all about emotional regulation and emotional expression. How well do you stay calm under pressure? And how well do you control or manage your emotions when you need to express them? Cortana here actually really excels for most of the series. If you know her character arc, it's a pretty tragic character arc. And so where she scores at the beginning is likely very different than where she's going to score at the end. And for me, I see that as a beautiful arc of somebody who's actually getting burnt out. They call it rampancy in her situation where she's degrading, but from a symptoms perspective or an experience perspective, she has a lot of similarities to humans as they're going through the different stages of burnout. So for stabilize, Cortana starts off really well. She's really calm under pressure. She's regulated. She's aware. She's tactical. It starts off when the Cairo station is being boarded, soon to be annihilated, and she's walking Master Chief through tactical execution of different things that he's got to do to save themselves. She is regulated, she's grounded, she's solid. But as her system starts to degrade due to rampancy, things take a pretty dramatic turn. In Halo 4, she has a complete emotional regulation failure. She has a massive surge of emotions, and in the middle of a mission, she actually crashes their ship into the Ivanov station. A complete overreaction. There's no pausing, there's no grounding, there's no anchor. It's just complete impulse overriding strategy. Not a good sign. And it doesn't get better from there. But because most of the series, she's really well regulated, for phase 1, we're going to give Cortana a 7 out of 10. All right, on to phase 2. Phase 2 is optimize. This is all about the cognition, the logic, really about self-awareness. This is understanding what's happening within you, why, and where it's coming from. Not deflecting, not projecting, not pushing it out and blaming it on other people. So Cortana at the beginning also really excels here. Even as she's leading into rampancy, where she feels herself degrading, and she's aware of it. She even calls it out. She says, "My mind is going, and I'm afraid." So she labels her emotion. She identifies it. She doesn't deflect it. She doesn't blame it. She doesn't try to blame other people for it. She's just aware of the situation and owns it and tries to make a plan of how to address it moving forward. That's a great thing from an emotional intelligence standpoint. But by Halo 5, things have taken a dramatic turn for the worse. She becomes this galaxy-spanning authoritarian who's trying to force peace by gunpoint. It's these same things that she used to complain about or voice concerns with in the past, she is now doing herself, but not understanding that it's actually the same thing. She thinks it's different because her intentions are good. She ends up with massive emotional blind spots. The hypocrisy is astounding. She talks about Dr. Halsey being a monster for forcing the Spartans to be in their program. At the same time, she's wanting to force people to be peaceful using her methods and her ways. So she's self-aware about her symptoms, but she's completely blind to what those things are doing to her actual judgment. So for phase 2, Cortana is going to get a score of 6. This moves us on to phase 3. Phase 3 is the executive phase. This is all about our social awareness. This is how well we are expressing our emotions or explaining ourselves, our needs, our values to other people, and how well we understand and listen to other people as they are doing the same. So again, at the beginning, Cortana is doing an amazing job here. So at her peak, her attunement with Master Chief is amazing. They are aware that her rampancy is starting, and even she's aware. And as a result, there's a captain who orders her destruction. And she signals distress without having to say a word. Master Chief is attuned with that, picks up on it, snags her, and they take off, him completely defying orders. So they are a beautiful example of like co-regulation. They're understanding and aware of each other's emotions and each other's state, and they're willing to jump in and help each other as they need to. Beautiful emotional intelligence. But that shifts pretty dramatically as well as we get into Halo 5, where she effectively loses her ability to have empathy. She ends up imprisoning effectively Master Chief, and as he voices concerns or frustrations, she completely ignores him and dismisses him as being misguided and she's completely unaware and unattuned to any of his actual feelings or emotions or even expressions, which ultimately leads her to deploying these planet-killing machines without listening to any of the fears or the concerns or the needs first. A perfect example of zero empathy and somebody with zero emotional intelligence. So as for a phase 3 score, how well Cortana does over the cycle, over the entire series, we're going to give her a 5 out of 10. This gives Cortana a total score of 18 out of 30. So Cortana's arc is really a tragedy. It's not a failure. It's ultimately what happens when people get burnt out. And for her, that was defined as rampancy. What made her extraordinary, the ability to hold everything, process everything quickly, and feel everything all at once, is what ultimately the rampancy turned against her. Her collapse is not because she stopped caring. It's because she wasn't able to regulate herself with the emotional intensity that was actually hitting her. She cared too much, too fast. And without regulation, self-awareness becomes self-justification. Empathy becomes control, and composure becomes coldness. So we would classify her as having a very high intelligence, but having a very low regulation profile. Similar to a lot of people that I know. If you are a high performer who doesn't train your emotional stabilization system, eventually that high pressure is going to turn it against you. Don't wait for that system to crash. This is what I help people with every single day. Click the links below, check out my virtual workshops I have coming up, or hit me up. I'd love to have a conversation about coming in and doing some training for you or your team. If there's any other droids or AI characters that you think I should review next, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to find out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.